All right, so welcome back to today's live stream. This is the first episode of my podcast / live stream series. Not sure what the name will be yet, but the idea is that instead of having a podcast where you just have to listen and be bored, you get to have some visual stimulation as well if you want it. So it's going to be structured in a way that you can listen to it or you can watch it. And then after the live stream is done, it'll be posted on YouTube as well as other social medias so that you guys can watch it later. So in the first episode, which this is the first episode, but last time I did a test stream and we did these nice fillets on Ultra Zenith Express. So in today's stream, we're going to be painting Ultra Zenith Express, as well as painting my newest kit, Mini Starlance. And then we will also be introducing a newest rocket, which if you're on my newsletter, which you can find in the description, if you subscribe to that newsletter, you'll get all the news about Air Dragon Labs. But if you have been on that newsletter, you'll know about Crystal Express. This is a rocket that is based off of the Zenith Express line, but just with a nice little twist. So instead of the main body connector, it actually just has this guy in the center. So it's like a normal Zenith, but it's blue with some purple accents. And then this guy in the center. So we're going to be painting him. Or we're going to be putting together Crystal Express and then painting the other two rockets. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. I think everyone should be able to see the stream fine. It is shared on Discord. And then I'm going to edit the description real quick to include a link to the newsletter. All right, you should be able to find that in the description right now. And yeah, let's get into it. So first, we are going to be painting. Actually, I'll let you guys decide. Do you want to see me paint Mini Starlance first or Ultra Zenith Express? Okay, good. The sound is good. Joshua, nice. The first stream, it was not very good, but then I bought these wireless mics, and it's been pretty good since, I think. Mini Starlance. Okay, we're going to be painting Mini Starlance first. So let me swap cameras. All right, so here is a close-up of Mini Starlance. The cool thing about Mini Starlance is that it's printed as one piece, two pieces technically. So the nose cone comes off, but other than that, it is one solid piece, which makes it super easy to build and fly. Literally, once you get the kit, all you have to do is glue in the motor tube, glue in the shot cord, and then if you want to paint it, you can. You don't have to. It doesn't help the flight. Actually, I lie. Paint makes the rocket go higher. Paint always makes the rocket go higher. That said, you can get it and build it and launch it the exact same day with your grandkids or your grandparents or whatever. So I'm going to leave that in there. I don't know why I took that out. My bad, gang. Chat. So I have these right here. And I might zoom this in some so you guys can see better. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, so I've got these cool things. These are like paintbrushes, but they have little balls on the end. I don't know if you can see that very well, but they are supposedly supposed to make it a lot easier to paint fine details. And then obviously I have some standard paintbrushes. So let us get, and in these kits, the paint always comes, paint and paintbrushes come in the kit. In all 24 millimeter and 18 millimeter kits, you get paint and paintbrushes. That said, in the 38 and 54 millimeter kits, you don't get paint, just because I'd need to send so much paint. Like this thing uses like a half a bottle of paint or more. So I let you guys get it. That way you can pick whatever colors you want and you can do whatever you want. So I just use this gold, and this is the gold that comes in the Starlands kits. It separates after like a month of not touching it. So you do have to give it a nice, good shake. It's a little ASMR, I guess. And then I think I can actually zoom this in. If I go transforms, edit transforms, crop. All right, I'm gonna try this. Might break it. Okay, I think that did like essentially nothing. Yeah, there we go. So if we do 500, oh, never mind. 500 is way too much. Let's go 200. Yeah, that works. Never mind, that's 2,000. My bad. Sorry, this being the first stream, I'm still definitely trying to get things figured out. Bear with me here. That also doesn't work. Okay, so 100 pixels of cropping. I don't think that did anything. Whoops. Okay, never mind. All right, well, we'll just leave it how it is. But yeah, so this is just normal paint, normal gold paint. I got it off of Amazon. I guess I'm going to start out, since Starlands has a bunch of tiny details, I'm going to start out with a firm brush, probably this one right here, just like a circle-y shape. That's probably way too much paint for this rocket, but it is what it is. And then I'm going to need a water cup at some point to rinse these brushes. But Starlands has details on the nose cone. So it's got these little spirals on the nose. And then it has this crest here and these crests here. Then it has these right here. And then the pods get painted gold as well. So I'm just going to put a little dab on each of those spots. That way y'all can see what I'm talking about. Starlands is one of the more intricate rockets. It does take a hot minute to paint, but it's definitely worth it, I would say. Let's see. So I'm going to start with this pod, just because the pods take a couple coats. And we'll bounce back and forth between painting each rocket, just like I said, because some of them take multiple coats. And also you don't want to really get paint all over yourself. In normal Starlands, I like to paint the pods before I glue them on. That way I can paint each one and then not have to worry about it. Worry about painting them once they're on the rocket. I'm going to pull up chat real quick, see if there's any messages. Paint it like a Zenith Express, right? Yeah, at that point it would just be blue, red, and black, which I don't know. Oh, and silver, I guess. I don't know that that is a good combo. I have all the paints up here, but I'm not sure I would like that. These were designed a hot minute ago, so well, I designed a little backstory on Aero Dragon Labs. I designed my first product ever was nose cones. I made custom nose cones, and I sold a few of those. But then in June of 2025, one of my mentors came to me, since I'm okay at modeling, 3D modeling, and he was like, "Hey, do you think you could make this for me?" And that kit was the Zenith Express. He likes the design of retro rockets, and so I made it, and I was like, "Oh, it turned out way better than I ever imagined it would." And then I posted it on Etsy, and y'all actually loved it. So then I just kept going. The next kit I made was Starlance. After that, you guys said you wanted a bigger Zenith Express, so I made Mega Zenith Express, and then I started working on some other rocket kits. Like I made Christmas Express, which you guys, if it's only available at Christmas time, so if you didn't get it last year, then you can't buy it right now. I might make it available again this Christmas. We'll see. If there's enough interest, I will. After that was just a spinoff of Zenith Express with a wreath and some other features. And then I made, let's see what happened next. I think I made Ultra. Yeah, so Ultra was the first kit I released this year. And then I since have released Mini Zenith Express, and also now I will be releasing, the next kit to release will be Mini Starlance, and then after that it'll be Crystal Express, and then I made Skyforge too. Skyforge released before Ultra Zenith Express released, actually. Can't forget about that one. I've spent so long making that rocket, man. That rocket took absolutely forever to design, and just to like get all of the tubing, because it has custom copper tubing that is 3D printed in a 3D printed to fit onto the 3-inch body tube. And so just getting that to look nice and being printable, since there's like so many overhangs, it was a slight nightmare. I think I put the most hours. The most amount of hours I put in is either between Zenith Express or Skyforge. Skyforge is by far the most complicated rocket I've made, and then Zenith Express, being the first rocket, just took the most amount of time. I'd say I probably put in at least 10 hours on Zenith and probably closer to 15 on Skyforge. But yeah, so over the summer, the first kit that will be actually launching as a product, will be Mini Starlance, and then after that it will be Crystal Express, and then a new high-powered kit that I've been working on called Biohazard. It's going to be black and green and look so sick. I got a new laser cutter. I bought a laser cutter for the company, which is what I'll be using I want to incorporate more plywood into my designs. So I'm also working on a laser cut pyramid that will be launching soon. Giving away all of my secrets. But yeah, so this summer the plan is to launch as a kit, launch Mini Starlance, Crystal Express, and then what else did I say? Oh yeah, Biohazard as a high power rocket kit, and then hopefully a crazy pyramid, which I don't know what I'll call that yet, but I also have a few other like single piece 3D printed rockets that I've been working on. just like things that you can buy at a booth, shove a rocket engine in, fire into the sky, and then tumble recovery down. That way, like if you don't have a rocket at a rocket launch, but you want to launch something, there's almost always motor vendors at launches. So you can just be like, you can just go to the motor vendor or like come to my tent, purchase a rocket that you think is cool, a pre-built rocket. Then you go to a motor tent, grab a motor for it, fly it, and happy day, right? So that's the plan. My dad, the marketing man, calls it buy and fly. So I'll have to know what you guys think of that. Especially the more avid Rocketeers that have tuned in. I know just from the chat, a couple of my friends have tuned in, but I haven't seen any actual Rocketeers, right? I haven't seen any of those tune in, so I'll have to get some opinions on that, on buy and fly. But yeah, so this is going to be a crazy summer for me. Quite a few things going on. Let's see what else. I have been, this is a secret that I'm not sure I should tell, but I have been working on a colossal Zenith Express. So like the Ultra, but instead of a 54 millimeter motor mount, it'll have a 98. This thing will be over 6 feet tall. So if you're in my newsletter, you already know this, but it'll be over 6 feet tall. It'll weigh roughly 30 pounds, maybe more, on the pad. So at least 30 pounds on the pad. And using like the biggest motor an L2 flyer can buy, it'll still only go like a few thousand feet. It's going to be insane. So it's going to be bigger than me. I'm 5'11". It'll be, I think the total height was going to be like 6'2". So, and 35 pounds. So it's going to be a big boy. Not sure, probably have to use like a 10-foot parachute at least for it. It's going to be a huge chute. So that'll be exciting. I plan to fly that at the next massive launch I go to. So all Aero Dragon Labs will be attending Michiana Mayhem in March. If things went incredibly well and I made like 10K revenue in the next 2 months, I could probably end up swinging the ability to go to Airfest, but I don't see that happening. So for now, the next launch that I'll end up going to is going to be Michiana Mayhem in March. And then after that, probably I'll go back to LDRS. That's going to be in Colorado, I believe. So you can see I painted the 3 pods. Now I'm going to actually separate it so I can, oops. There we go. All right, so I'm going to set this kind of over here-ish, upside down, and start painting the nose cone. I don't know if this is the best paintbrush for this, but I'm going to zoom in the camera. Duplicate. I need to make this even bigger. All right, there we go. That should be pretty zoomed in. Quality is probably going to suffer because I've zoomed it in so much, but yeah. So actually, I'm going to try the new thingajigs. So these just have like tiny ball points on them. I'm going to try this one. I don't know what size this is, but I think you're just supposed to dip the tip, the little ball in the paint, and then use it. Oh, that works actually not too bad. The paint doesn't go too far, but that's not bad. It's almost like drawing, I guess, like with a marker. Oh, that works really well for like the sharp edges and things. Okay, might have to. I stole these from Mom, but I might have to get my own set. Yeah. It's going pretty well, actually. Maybe need to get a smaller ball for the top bit. But that's not too bad. Okay, I'm just going to use the light one, double-sided. Sorry the stream is so quiet. I guess I almost always need to have somebody on here talking to me so I can answer questions and talk to you guys more, because I am a naturally quiet person. Like I talk to myself, which is what this feels like. So it's not like I'm out of my element because I'm talking to myself, because I do that frequently. Just I'm used to talking to myself about random nonsense, not about like things. Like I'll talk to myself in the third person, which is kind of weird, I guess. But I'll talk to myself and like explain my own reasoning to myself, if that makes sense. That probably doesn't make sense to anyone, but maybe Joe, if he's watching. But yeah. So yeah, I already talked about the plans for the summer for Air Dragon Labs. If you just tuned in, today is going to be just a more chill day. Actually, let me put on some music. That way it's not total silence for you guys. What music are we thinking? Let's see. For the launches this summer, I'm probably going to go to 2 or 3. Our club has a launch every day in the third Saturday of the month. So I'll probably end up, if everything goes as planned, I can only attend the August one because I'll be out of town for the other ones. But if there's any deferments, then I'll be able to go to all of them. So June, August, and July. But so I'm thinking, and y'all can object to this if you want, but where's my playlist? I had some old stuff in here about just like backlogs and things. And I think I was going to call this the Ground Effect podcast. Let me know what you guys think of that, because I don't remember why I was going to name it the Ground Effect podcast, but that is what I was going to name it apparently. So let me know your thoughts on that. But looks like I cannot find my playlist, so I'll just have to find a new one. Let's try this one. I mean, if you guys can hear that. Maybe it was this one that I like. No? Okay, yeah, this one's fine. Better not dilly-dally too much, or lose the interest of the viewers. So let us get back to painting. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh yes, I'm going to 3 launches this summer. Hopefully, we'll see. Like I said, I have some pretty big parks near me that I can launch almost anything at. Not any, obviously, but like I can launch anything low power or mid power at the parks near me. And if it's a heavy rocket, I can do L1 stuff. Like I tested Skyforge at a park near me on an I-165, but she's a hefty rocket, so that still, and that actually, it would have only gone like 800 feet, if that. It did not get that high because that's the motor that blew up that I had a Kato with. I guess you wouldn't call it a Kato because it was a motor malfunction either way. It chuffed like 10 times, and during those chuffs the delay grain obviously got lit, and the delay grain burnt out before it pressurized, and so it popped the ejection charge. And then when it finally pressurized, there was 2 nozzles instead of 1, and the parachute had already come out, so it made it a whole 30 feet in the air. So not too high, maybe 40 feet if you're being generous. Yeah, it didn't go that high, which was not user error. It was just a really old motor and a red line at that. So if you know rocketry, you know that red lines are the most annoying motors to get lit. So let me know how you guys like the music. I've seen a decent amount of Asmongold, and I like how he always has background music in playing during his streams, which I think is a cool idea because it just adds to the atmosphere in a way that, because like if I'm not talking about something, y'all are just sitting in silence watching me paint, which I don't know if you know this, but painting isn't exactly the most exciting video content. Like, I'm sure it's more exciting for some people than others, and surely it's more exciting than watching paint dry, but effectively that's what y'all are doing. You're not the ones painting, you're effectively just watching the paint dry, which is very boring for a viewer. So me talking is the only thing keeping you guys entertained. And I'm not the greatest live stream host yet. Not that I ever will be, but we'll see how it goes. I think my record right now is 7 views, which is not bad, but that could just be literally everyone I know tuning in, so we'll have to see. I think I need to change the thumbnail too, because my thumbnail is just my logo at this moment, and that's not going to get very many clicks. I recently bought a Ninja Creamy off of Facebook Marketplace, and it makes some insane desserts. Like, if you know what you're doing, which not that I know what I'm doing, but like, you honestly can just, I took, this is not rocket related. I don't know why I'm talking about this during a rocket podcast, but, okay then. So I took, I made a simple syrup with 2 cups of water and 2 cups of sugar, and then while heating that over low heat on the stove to get it all mixed together, I added the zest of 3 lemons, so that it could just like aeromate. That's not the right word, but it got really strong. And then I added a full cup of lemon juice to that to make some insanely like very, very sweet and also very, very sour lemonade, like country time lemonade when you add 10 parts country time lemonade to 1 part water, like that powerful. Not actually that powerful, I'm joking, but it was very strong. So then you put that in the creamy pint, you freeze it for 24 hours, and then you put it in the creamy, and then it, like, that was Italian ice. So I just hit Italian ice, waited 5 minutes, and then the strongest lemon Italian ice ever. The texture is insane. It's so good. So I've got a pint of vanilla ice cream that I want to try. That's freezing downstairs. So we'll have to try that. I'm going to try that at some point, probably when I get off the stream. But it can make some really good stuff. I've seen so many recipes using it. It's kind of crazy. Back to rockets. If you just tuned in, for my trial episode last week on Sundays. By the way, I'm streaming. My plan for the summer is to stream every single Sunday night from roughly 8:30 to 10. So that's an hour and a half. But last stream we did the fillets on Ultra Zenith Express because I lost mine at LDRS. So today we're going to be painting Ultra Zenith as well as Starlands, mini Starlands. I've already painted the pods on mini Starlands once, so they're going to need another coat, but 1 coat of that is done. And now I'm painting the nose cone, which is turning out way better than I thought it would thanks to the use of this little thing. This is it's basically just a steel ball that you dip the paint in, which is working way better than I thought it would. So, yeah. I'm gonna check the chat real quick, because apparently I'm supposed to be doing that. Music set is too loud. How's that? That should be decently quiet. I haven't tested that before, but how's that? That's like, should be like barely there. I don't know the ratio of music to voice, but I assume it's supposed to be like pretty nullified, like pretty dull. All right. So, yeah, back to painting. Sorry if this camera, I don't know which camera is worse at this point, but this one is just so zoomed in that I guess it's not the greatest of quality. I can unzoom it in if I do this. If I lower it like that, then I can control fit and then zoom back in. This is where I was painting, so move it to fit. Oh, I see what I did. There we go. Yeah, so that should be a little better quality now. It's not artificially zoomed in so much. Yeah, so just painting mini starlets, and then I will paint Ultra Zenith Express. Sorry, this is a very boring stream for you guys. In the future, I'm going to have lots of guests on. So I already have a few guests lined up. I'll be having the Rocketeer, who is known for some 3D printed rocketry, but mainly his sugar motors. I'll be having him come, and at some point he'll probably be a virtual guest, but at some point one of these nights we'll have him come and cast some sugar motors with us, which will be really cool, because I've done sugar motors before, but he has done much bigger sugar motors than me. He has done, his biggest sugar motor ever was an L1300, which turned into an L1500 because it was very aggressive. But it's a insane, he's done some insanely big motors. That's a 78 by like 22 inch case. So 3 inches by like 22 inches, which is massive, by the way. Much more than average. Yeah, so we'll have him come at some point and do some demonstrations. Probably will cast some sugar propellant, probably sorbitol, and then also we will we might not fire anything, but we'll probably do some test burns of the propellant just so you guys can see it burn. And then at some point I will do have some more guests on. There's a guy from our Rocket Club that has shown interest in joining a stream to help give some tips and tricks for newbies to the sport, like a quick beginner's guide, and I'm going to make a video series on that as well, for procedures to do at a launch site, as well as the different things you can do at a launch site, like tips and tricks on how to get into rocketry, the things you should and shouldn't do, and then also at the launch site, procedures about, oh, you have to do your launch card this way, and then you go to the RSO and you get it checked off. You don't put your igniter in the motor. That's a really big one. You don't put the igniter in the motor until you get out to the pad. You put the rocket on the pad, then you put the igniter in the motor. Unless it's an Estes, then it's a little more forgiving. And then you rack your rocket, and then you connect the leads, arm it, etc., etc. So there's all kinds of different procedures that should be followed, and also ones that people just don't know about. So we're gonna make a video series about that. I have asked Rocket Vlogs, the YouTuber, to be on the show at some point as just a virtual guest. Obviously he's not going to drive all the way down here, but as a virtual guest I think he would definitely enjoy it, because he's really big, so I'd like to get his opinion on some things and just talk. That'll probably be a day where I might do some CAD work while streaming, because that's another idea I've had, where I just sit and do CAD for rockets, like design a rocket live on stream, tell you guys how I go through my process, and how I design everything, and then that way you guys get to talk to me, but also Rocket Vlogs, because Braden Carlson is a really cool guy. I met him at LDRS, which was super cool. And then, yeah, so those might be two separate streams. I'm not sure. But I've got tons of ideas of things that I can do on stream that you guys could be interested in. In rocketry, there's not a lot of good videos. There's a lot of good videos, but not a lot of good videos, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of cool videos, like bps.space. Space's videos are insane. They're like mini movies. Each video is like a mini movie. And then, like, Braden Carlson makes really good videos too, Rocket Vlogs. And the whole anti-gravity group makes really good videos. But yeah, I just want to add to the landscape. Like, I know, like, for streams specifically, there's there's the anti-gravity group podcast, and I think there's some other podcasts, but those are all podcasts where, like, people are just sitting and talking. But I wanted to make something where I'm sitting and talking, yes, but I could also be standing and talking, which is irrelevant. But, like, I'm doing something, you know? Like, I'm painting right now, which isn't the most exciting, but I could be casting sugar motors, or I could be prepping a rocket, or I could be building a motor, or I could be designing a rocket, or I could do all kinds of different things, right? So there's endless possibilities, and almost no one has taken advantage of that, so I want to. But yeah, I was a little sloppy with it, but that is a mini Starlance nose cone painted. The next bit is, I'm gonna put this right here off to the side to dry. The next bit is either a second coat on the fins or the pods, or these guys, or the front crown crest things. So I'm gonna do this real quick, and then we can move on to the crown crest. I don't think this has taken way longer than I thought it would, so I might not stream the entire painting of this. I'll stream the entire painting of this rocket, but I might not stream the entire painting or building of Ultra Zenith Express. Might save that for a future week or something else. Yeah, but I plan to stream every Sunday night, probably from like 8:30 to, I want to stream from like 8:30 to 10, because that's an hour and a half, which I think will be a good amount of time. I'm gonna get a flat paintbrush. This one should work. See if this works better or not. No, that paintbrush is way too big. That's making a giant mess. Okay, let us try this paintbrush. Yeah, there we go. That paintbrush is working. The other paintbrush that I had used on the pods is slightly dried out now because I didn't put it in a cup of water. And it's been an hour. I am going to go get that cup of water and then also a little rag that I can wipe some of those dots off on, and I'll be back in a second. All right, well, part of it has dried, so I might have to take some like really high grit to that section and just take it off, but it should be fine. Definitely like to stream. I've gotten I think I'm at like 25 views right now, which is crazy. I did not figure it'd be that high, but definitely like the stream. My most concurrent viewers was 7 so far. That's pretty cool. All right, so I'm probably gonna paint this for another like 5 minutes, and then we'll move on to the actual build of Crystal Express. And then obviously glue has to dry, so I won't get the whole thing done today. But it should be done for the next stream to show you guys. I did not realize that I spent this much time painting my rockets. Like, spray painting, yeah, sure, getting the design right and everything, but hand painting these things, I did not realize I spent this much time on it. Because I already been streaming for like what? 57 minutes? Holy. So quite a long stream. For a stream, that's like, I guess it's not that long. There's people that stream 24/7. But I didn't expect it would take this long to paint. Literally not even a whole rocket, like just a tiny rocket. And I'm not even done. So, yeah. Yeah, these metal balls work really well for painting details. I'm definitely gonna need my own set of them. They deposit quite a bit of paint, which then thins out and makes it look pretty good. I don't think I'll need to do a second coat on any of these spots. I will definitely on the pods, just because they're a really curved surface, and I don't think that these balls will work super well on them, because they are essentially a cylinder. But yeah, that's done. That looks beautiful. Shot cord's too short for that. No, that doesn't work. What does work? When I set this on. There we go. All right. So those are done. Now we're going to do the crest. So this crest right here, and then these two accents, I call it the crown and the crest. So this is the crown because it's the top bit, and then the crest is the bit below it. And then some people paint the entire porthole. I am admittedly one of those people, but you don't have to. You can just paint. You don't have to paint it at all. Some people like to paint the rim of the porthole. I personally like to paint the entire thing, like I just said. I just find that it looks the best, in my opinion. But yeah, man, these metal balls, I'm gonna have to get more of these, because these work so well. They don't leave paintbrush strokes like normal paintbrushes do. So that just like looks so good. And then the paint kind of like thins itself out. It like figures out where it's meant to go. So they're not good. I don't think they'll be good for painting like a giant area like this, but definitely for like the detailing work on this rocket. It's doing really well. So thanks, Mom, for recommending I try these. I did not have faith. But yeah. I need to figure out how to get chat in my OBS part so that I don't have to keep swapping back and forth between tabs, especially since it's so far away. Like I have to reach all the way across the table because my laptop is on the other end, which first world problems, but yeah, no, I mean, I think with some, like, once it settles, that'll look pretty good. There's definitely, like, it puts it on really thick, which is good or bad depending on how you look at it. But yeah, no, it covered that rim really nicely. Okay then. Yeah, so that is the porthole on a Starlance. Once it dries, I think the swirls will look better. But I mean, yeah, that's basically all there is to painting a Starlance. I won't make you sit through painting another layer on the pods, even though they need it. But yeah, that is a mini Starlance painted. Let me put the nose cone back on, along with the streamer, so that y'all can see what it looks like fully painted. But all of this stuff comes in the kit. Literally the only thing you need to get yourself is glue, and any glue will work. You can use super glue if you're in a rush. Like you could, if you wanted to use super glue, you could buy this kit, super glue it, and have it ready to fly in under 10 minutes. If you want to use, the glue I really like to use is clear Gorilla Glue. So if you wanted to use that, you're gonna have to wait a few hours for it to dry. But like if you use super glue, you could have this rocket from being in the bag to ready to fly in under 10 minutes. But yeah, that is the nose. Let me swap to this. That is the nose cone painted, and the porthole, nose cone, porthole, up to those things, and the pods, and those are on every side. Same with the pods, all one piece. You get everything of this in the kit. It'll be online on aerodragonlabs.com, hopefully within the month, by the end of the June. But it'll be only $29.99, so you can just buy it, build it, and fly it the same day, which I think is a really cool concept. And again, if you use super glue, you could buy it, build it, and fly it in 10 minutes. But super glue leaves this like white residue behind, which I don't like. So I personally won't be using super glue for my rockets. But now I don't think I'll make you sit through, unless if the chat wants to sit through me painting Ultra Zenith, which I really doubt they do. I will, but the other thing was going to be building Crystal Express. So it's like a normal Zenith Express. If you didn't see the beginning of the stream, it's like normal Zenith Express, but the body is blue, and then this guy takes over as the body connector. So he just sits right there, and then pops in like that. And then obviously it's got purple accents, so purple nose, purple fins, and then purple for the launch lug and the pods as well. So y'all can decide whether we build this or paint Ultra Zenith Express. Well, no, sorry guys, we can't see Crystal Express launch right now. It's not built yet. I guess I could go get super glue it together. Actually, no, I don't have any motors for this rocket right now on hand. If I did, I could probably super glue it together and fly it in like a half hour. But like, where's the fun in that? You gotta have patience. Patience, young Padawan. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna be painting Crystal Express, or not painting, building Crystal Express. What's the difference between these two? Yes, just the shifting of the thing. I'm going to actually zoom this one out because I need more table space. All right, so move this aside, put the paint brushes in the water, put that in the water, move that over there, put that over there. All right, so, oh, whoopsie daisies, I got paint on my fingers from touching the porthole of, oh, it's still fine. Touch the porthole of Mini Starlands, but it's fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. Everything's fine. Lukewarm water is not good to drink. All right, so to build in the Crystal Express rocket kit, you will get, obviously, the giant crystal slime, as well as, I'm calling it a crystal slime, because it's like slimy and a crystal. It's got crystals on it and a rainbow. So you'll get the normal components of a Zenith Express, which are upper and lower sections, the nose cone, 4 fins, so 1 fin, 2 fin, 3 fin, and 4 fin. You'll get the 4 fins in a normal build, or in a normal Zenith Express kit. You get these ingredients. You get the upper and lower section. You get 4 fins. Let's see, I'm trying to orient this in a way that makes the most sense. So put those right there. Not that this matters, but you'll get upper and lower sections. Then your 4 fins, your nose cone, and then the launch lug, 2 pods, then a motor tube, and 4 feet of 300-pound Kevlar cord. You would also, in a normal Zenith Express kit, which comes in black and red, you'll get a body connector. But in Crystal Express, not only do all of these parts come in purple and tealish blue, metallic purple and metallic blue, but you also get the fabled crystal body connector. So this guy, he's got a hole right here for the launch rod to pass through, and then the shot cord ties onto right here. So that is the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to glue the motor mount tube into this guy right here. So like I said, I personally prefer this glue. I prefer clear Gorilla Glue, just because of its properties. It's oil-based, so you can wipe it off with alcohol really easily. It just works really well in general. It's also like the perfect consistency of glue. Like, it'll run if you put too much, but then it'll also just stay if you have like that'll run eventually, but it also just stays. And it's not too thick. With E6000, which is another good glue that people like to use, it's a hobby glue that people like to use. You can get it at Home Depot, but it just is so thick and hard to get out of there. With this, it's liquid enough that you can just turn the bottle upside down and then squeeze the bottle a little bit, and it comes out so easily. But this just pops right into here. I like to twist it slightly as it goes down. That way you get the glue nice and distributed. Don't drip your glue onto your fins. And always have napkins. I'm using Kleenexes because that's what I had on hand. But always have something to wipe the glue off with, because if you put too much, it'll come out. Yeah. So once that's in, I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, which it's not gonna get tacky in 1 minute anyways, but we're going to move on to our little spiky guy. So these will come, it's printed in rainbow filament, which means each one is slightly different, which means your Crystal Express is unique and there is 0 other that will look like it. So for instance, this guy right here, has blue tip spikes here and then like purple down here. So yours might be green tipped or pink tipped or orange tipped. So no two will be the same, like stars or snowflakes. I don't know if there's similar stars. Snowflakes. There's no two same snowflakes. So we'll go with that. But we're gonna take our shock cord, and here we're gonna pass it through the top part of our little spiky guy. So pass it through his center hole right there. And then we're going to turn him upside down. So his spike crown is on the bottom. Next, we are going to pass this part right here at the end. If you need to stiffen it, you can lick it like that, and then it'll be a little stiffer. You're going to pass that through this hole right here. There's a hole right there that you're going to pass it through, and then you're going to pull it a little bit, and then on this end you're going to tie a knot slash a few knots. You want it to that's a little far up, but it's fine. Actually, that's a little too far up for my taste. I like it to be the way I like it. But you're going to want to tie a knot so that there's a knot on just the very end, like so. And then I add a few extra knots just for security because I'm OCD. Knots in the way that they'll add, so each knot makes the total knot bigger. So I think I'll do, after that knot, it should be good. There we go. So that's a decent sized knot right there. And then we're just going to pull it like so. So the knot should get stuck right there in his little, should get stuck right there. So you can pull it back through, but then not like that, right? So that is in there. And like this tail right here, we want to cut that off. So let me grab my pocket knife real quick. And the thing with Kevlar is it doesn't like to cut very easily. So scissors won't cut it easily. A pocket knife is generally the best tool I've found to cut it. Just like use it as a saw almost. There we go. So that knot is cut off. Now when we tug it right here, it will just get nice and snug up in there. And now I don't, and maybe this is OCD, but I don't want that knot to come undone, right? So I am going to fill that cavity with glue. Going to, oh, and I can't get it out now, of course. Get the knot out just slightly, and then add a dollop of glue inside that cavity. And then when I pull so there's a dollop of glue right there, and then when I pull this back through, it will get it'll get that, pull that glue in with it, and make a really nice, so you can see there's a little bit of glue that got pulled in through, so it's on the other side now. So that's, once that cures, it's not going anywhere, right? So this is the bottom, which means now we can take this bit that we just glued our thing onto, and since he's still upside down, he makes a great tool rest. Not a tool rest, but like, you know, So I'm just gonna do a decent amount of glue on the top of him. That way, and you can glue this however you want, but that way when I press this on, it will kind of ooze around the sides, right? Yeah, see? So there's glue all along the inside of that, and then it oozed out around the sides. I'm gonna add a little bit more around the sides though, because like this side is still dry. We want it to be wet enough. Other than that, it's pretty good though. So that is just going to glue on right there, and we're going to leave it like this for at least a few hours. You don't have to do overnight, but you can. The next step is still using this bit, but we're going to use the fins. And so it's best if you have a motor that you can insert into here, because that motor can then act as a decompressor. So think about it like this little glue bottle here. If I have this, if my motor tube is crushable, right, and I press this fin onto it, I don't know if I'm compressing that at all. So if I'm compressing it, then this motor won't be able to fit up inside that tube. So you put the motor in beforehand, you can press it in so that when you pull out the motor and the glue dries, then you can still fit the motor in. Pretty simple, but it works. It's a very useful trick to use. So I don't have a motor with me, and it is 10 o'clock. I wanted to stop streaming at 10, so I am not going to glue in the fins, but that's the strategy with the fins. Then for the what's this word called? The rod guide. That just gets glued on. There's a little a slot right here. It's pretty easy, hard to miss. You just glue that on right there, so that the larger end is facing aft, like that. If I can, yeah, like that. So the larger end is facing aft. That way, it's parallel with the rocket itself. That way, the rod goes in parallel with the rocket. Then after that, you will glue the upper section onto the top of the slime guy, and it has these directional things, so you can't mess it up. There's no way to turn this in a way that it won't fit and be proper. Then you want to glue on these pods. These just go on. There's 4 sides, obviously, because there's 4 fins. 2 of these sides have rivets. The other 2 sides don't have rivets, so you just put them on the 2 sides that don't have rivets, like that. Glue them there, and then that's done. And then the final thing is just there's a little bar on the underside, so you just thread this after you glue on the top, not before, otherwise you'll be cooked. You just thread it through that and then tie it onto this bar right here. That's that. So with that, I think I'm going to end the stream for tonight. Next Sunday, I won't be able to stream because I'll be out of town, but I should be able to stream the Sunday after that. If I'm back, I should be back by then. I think we come back Saturday, so I should be able to stream on Sunday. Then following that week, I plan to have the Rocketeer over to cast some sugar motors, hopefully. And then the next rocket launch I go to, I plan to stream during that rocket launch, which should be pretty cool, I think. So you'll get to see some behind the scenes of what happens at a launch if you've never been to one and how it all works. So let me know what you guys thought of the stream. Comment down below. Once this is posted on YouTube as a official video, edited and everything, I'm also going to chop it up into some smaller shorts for you guys to see. So yeah, check out the store. Link below. It's aerodragonlabs.com. We sell fin fillet tools and a bunch of other tools that help make your fillets nice and smooth like this. Then we also sell, obviously, all the rocket kits. So Ultra Zenith Express, Mini Starlance will be out there soon. Mini Zenith is already there. Crystal Express will be there soon. Skyforge, all the rest. They're all there. So check out airdragonlabs.com, and I'll see you guys later. So stay curious and ignite the skies.